Good morning, traders. John from Crypto Candlestick Trading. Just going to do a quick update on Bitcoin and some of the other cryptos. Probably the list of the top 10 that that I got on my watch list. So here we can see that Bitcoin has come down, and like last night it was down like 8% or something like that. And the rest of the market was about 15% in the red, and then it's come back nicely. But I'm still have the question as to why we are stopping right here. There's good solid resistance at the top there, and there's good solid support down the bottom here. I still don't see a real good reason why we should be stopping at this and turning around at this area here. There's a bit of I can see there's a little bit there, but there's just not much there. Like what would usually happen in a situation like this is it would either go up the top there and come back down, or go down the bottom and then come back up. Like just the way it's kind of done here, with each of these. I just think that it just doesn't make sense to be here. I can see all the congestion in there. I wonder if we're going to see all that congestion in here starting from here. I don't know. But we can see that we've had a massive spike in volume on the downside here. So that's basically this volume here is basically all the last sellers saying, all the stop losses that were below here got taken out, yes, or so the other day with this candle here, this massive volume candle. So this, if you have a look at this candle here, like this is a reversal sort of action here. You can see the amount of volume that came in here. Now, even though the day was red, this doesn't mean that it was just like a massive selling day and there was only sellers involved. If we have a look at this, let's just open it right up and we'll have a closer look and talk about this candle for a second. So this candle, it opened up here and then traded up a fraction and then traded all the way down here, and then the buyers stepped in. And now all the sellers are really, really happy at this stage, thinking, wow, we're just going to keep on going. This is going to go all the way down to zero and we're going to make millions. But the only problem is the buyers are down here, and then they started buying, at the 200 mark, finding support there. And then, I bet any money, some of these buyers had already purchased here, and they were in the red down to here, and then coming back through into the green again, and then it stopped here for the day. So as you can see, if there was 100 sellers in here, probably 60 of them closed out their position and turn into buyers before the end of the day. And so there wasn't many sellers that stayed in this candle at the by the end of it. And so you can see that there with the volume here. Also, this one here, this massive volume here, this isn't 100% sellers. This has come down here, and then buyers have stepped in. There's a lot of volume, so much turnover in this small little nugget of a candle. Huge amounts of turnover, but it wasn't all selling. If it was all selling, like we would have finished up way down here somewhere. But it came down, and there was a big argument, the whole time. If we were to check this out on the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart, we would see that there would have been quite a few complications in this, like arguments between the bulls and the bears. Now, another thing that I wanted to say as well is with this one, is that I was actually looking at on yesterday. I was actually looking at opening my position again just after this low here, just so see if I can get that down there. But when I actually had a look on the 4-hour chart, there was weakness and there was no good entries for the short side. So there was way too much strength coming into this candle here on the 4-hour chart. That it just didn't allow me a good entry or a safe entry. What I want to be doing, I want to be getting entries, like if I go on the short side, I want it to be under the major moving averages. I want the candles to be showing reversal. I want to see weakness in the buying, and I want to see strength in the selling. Like down here, I don't know if it's going to go down or if it's going to go up. It's stuck in the middle. It's in limbo. So, and especially if I'm looking at the 4-hour chart and I'm seeing that there's weakness in the selling that's happened or that's happening in the 4-hour chart, I'm not going to go short, because it's just not safe. For me, the safe place to trade will be off this line here or off this line here, and they're going down, because you can see that this is holding some weight. There's a lot of people that have made financial decisions based upon this trend line. There's a lot of people that have made financial decisions based upon this support line. So, and there's not many that have made financial decisions in this here. So anything could happen between here and here. And I'm not really in a mad rush to find out. I mean, I know that's a fair way. That's 30 to 40. So there's a good percentage of difference in there. But anyway, that's enough for Bitcoin. I'm almost 5 minutes on Bitcoin. But anyway, so now you know what I'm thinking of Bitcoin anyway. So here we can see, so and here's another one that I'm thinking as well. I'll just get rid of that alert there. And here's another one that I'm thinking as well, is that down here, like that's the very first red, or the very last red of the downtrend before the beginning of the uptrend. So a logical place for this to go to would be this area down here, which would be $11. And oh man, that's a huge decline. I really feel sorry for the long-term investors, but they just don't study, and they don't. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so let's have a look. I can kind of see a bit of a line there, but it's just okay. Yeah, you can see a bit of a line there. So we've got a little bit of support that's happened here with the block, buying there, and going down here, resistance there, up. A little bit of stuff happening there. No, I don't know. It kind of makes sense, but it's not perfect. I'd like to see better. Another thing that I'm looking at as well is that left shoulder, head, right shoulder, a lot of weakness in this right shoulder, which also suggests to me that, that there's more downside. I'm not here to predict or anything like that, but if you look at the chart, there's nothing. None of this looks like strength or reversal. It could change today. I don't know, but there is definitely no reason to look at buying anything here. Like all this is extremely negative. We're under all the major moving averages. There's no real support here. A little bit of support, but there's no real support. We do have reversal candles. We do have an increase in selling volume. Stochastics are oversold. Anyway, I'm just not interested in buying anything at this stage or selling anything at this stage, because it's just way too risky where it is. Even the 4-hour chart, like I'm not really interested in the 4-hour chart, simply because we're in limbo. We're kind of, Bitcoin's stuck in between, like a rock and a hard place. It's stuck between the high and the low, and it's in the middle of that. So, once it finds support at the low or resistance at the high, then we can kind of start looking at it and saying, okay, well, is it going to break out of the high, or is it going to get rejection at the high? And we'll wait and see there. But here, have a look at this. We've got, that's not bad actually. FTM, like I don't like this because it's come down so aggressively, but we can see that there's almost an engulfing pattern there, and then we've got a hammer, massive volume. Yeah, it's still like you can just kind of see that this is scrappy trading. I want tight trading and a breakout. Tight trading and a breakout. That's what I'm after. I'm not after this sort of scrappy trading. Like this is a great place to lose your money in this kind of stuff here. Like who knows what's going to happen here? Like, are you going up or are you going down? Like this is after a nice decline under the moving averages. You going up or you going down? Nice decline, under the moving averages. Like is this going to turn scrappy from here on? It's just, I wouldn't want to be a part of it simply because I don't know which way it's going to go. Wouldn't have a clue, up or down. The market at the moment is confused, and I would rather stay away. Looking at this here, yeah. So yeah, a few lines here. You can kind of see support there. Kind of see support back here too, which is pretty good. But we're under that. Can I bring this? That's touched perfectly. Can I bring this down? And see if there's anything else down here. Does that make sense? Not really. I mean, it's just kind of okay. It's is there anything else back here? So really, does this make much sense? Like for it to stop there? For me, no, it doesn't. Even there, like I'm just not really all that excited about it. We can see here we've had a massive decline, and have a look what happened here. So I wonder if we're going to get like a little bit of a pop and then a pull down, something, to finish off like this. What we want to do is prep ourselves for the breakout that, happens here. Go back in history and study after a massive decline, what it looks like here under the moving averages under support. What did the breakout look like? What, like as it came out of these lows, what did it look like? When it comes down here, so it'll give you a better idea as to what, could possibly be happening. But as you can see here, we had a long wick. We've kind of gone over, and then we've got a few long wicks here. And then if we have a look here, yeah, we can see a lot of wicks down the bottom here. We can see, like a bit of a wick there. And then here, there's no wicks, engulfing, bang. Close above the 9, bang. I got in right about there. It was on Bitcoin though. All right, so let's have a look a little bit further. A few more of these. Look at that, bouncing on support on the 200, which is pretty good. Still showing negatives there though, but bouncing on support. $2.05 for mana. Like I wonder if this is going to go down here. I'm really tempted to put some entries. Just just some light entries, one there and one down here, just in case we get a quick pop, boop, boop, and then just to pick me up. I certainly wouldn't be putting the farm on it. Just if you're going to do something like that, you just want to do, pick up however many you want, like another 1,000, another 500 or whatever. If they're $1, and you want to get 500 of them, and just keep them in your back pocket, put them in an account that you're not going to touch, and see what they look like in a year's time. So I can account for that, but that's just my long-term holding sort of stuff. And sometimes even when I see massive reversals, I'll even go into that account and sell and then buy back. So say that's what I did with Mana. I sold Mana at $3.22, I think it was, and now it's $2.05. So, and I'm using the same money to buy Mana back. So I'll be able to buy back quite a few more, which is good. And so yeah, that's all I'm after. There's a few coins that I just want to accumulate, and I think. Zuckerberg, I don't think he's going to let this go. Sorry, that's Matic. This is Mana. I don't think Zuckerberg's going to let this go too quickly. So, and seems to be a lot more publicity going around about it too. So, man, some of these declines, 260 down to $90. 36 cents down to 18 cents. Man, beautiful, 50% decline. And Link, so there's a few that I missed here, but and that's another thing to do is go and study the ones that you missed. And also these ones here, like, if you had some good trades on, or, if there's something that you liked, mark it off and print it out and then put it in like a binder folder or something like that. And just so you can kind of see it as a reminder. Like, I'll go through these ones now and I'll have a look, like on the 4-hour chart. It wasn't with Link, it was with Tesla, say, XTZ, I think it was. And so with that one, like, I was just kind of thinking to myself, well, like, where's a good place for me to get in? Like, check this out, right? Here's resistance, and we're traveling up, and we're broken above the 9. Things are looking good, but we've got a decline in volume. We've got weakness coming into this resistance line. It's reverse. It's like, not unless we get a nice big solid pop, but then we've got the 50. So it's got a long way to go before it starts showing some really good things. And like, I'm not going to be getting involved in risking anything until like I'm confident and sure. And at the moment, I'm definitely not sure, and so I'm not going to go near it. It's just showing weakness, and things like this. But anyway, I was having a look at the decline from like from yesterday or wherever it was, and it just didn't give a good entry. From around here. Like, after it come into here, it didn't give a good entry for me to come down. Like, we're getting engulfing above, and then we just got a Harami that closes below. Anyway, like, I could have got in, but didn't get in. I just, too many red flags. And when you see too many red flags, it's best to just sit on the sidelines and go, okay, well, I'm not going to go near it, simply because it's just way too risky to have money in there. You only buy when you're sure, and you only sell when you're sure. So. And the reason why I was selling yesterday is because I didn't like the action that was in, and especially in the shorter term time frames, I didn't like the action. And this is the sort of action that I didn't like: declining volume on the rise. Like, it was in reverse of what it should have been. So anyway, traders, I've probably gone through enough. There's 13 and a half minutes in. So if you have any questions, let me know. If I hope this helps. I'm just going to go through and kind of put my 2 cents in about Bitcoin. But if you find that you've like, found something that's really cool and you want to share it, let us know. And or if you're confused about something and a little bit lost about something, let us know and we'll talk about it. To do with your trading, obviously. I'm not much good at anything else. Anyway, traders, have a good day. I'll talk to you again soon. See you.